We have 26 bones in the feet for a reason. These 26 bones in our feet are meant to move. The bones in our feet are meant to move independently from one another, as well as coordinated together to keep our balance under the force of gravity and to help us stand upright and to walk forward. Now, the more mobility we have in these independent 26 bones, the more mobility we have in an upright position. The more mobility in our feet, the more balance and coordination we have in standing and walking. Now, I borrowed this foot from Sven. Thank you so much, Sven, for sharing your foot so we can all take a look at all of these beautiful bones in here. Most babies and young children have really mobile feet. The next time you see a child playing without shoes or socks, take a look at their feet. Their feet and toes can bend and move as they maintain their balance over uneven surfaces really easily. And then you can see as we age, as humans age, our feet get stiffer and stiffer and less mobile. This is often just due to a lack of variation in our everyday environment. So we as humans have designed a world where we walk on flat pavement, on flat surfaces. We've taken away the variation of uneven surfaces of pebbles and rocks and grass and interesting textures. We often wear hard-soled shoes that take away even more of that variation, and we walk on even surfaces. So without that constant experience of variation for the brain, it's basically use it or lose it. So slowly over time, that lack of variation, the brain prunes those connections and we end up with less mobile feet. So one way to increase balance and coordination in a standing position or in walking is to increase the variation. So change your shoes, walk on different surfaces, start giving your brain the experience of all of those variations and those connections between the feet and all of those 26 bones and amazing muscles that coordinate the feet will once again begin to grow and expand, and your brain will be able to reorganize itself into more balance and more coordination. Now, those of us who are parents of children with special needs, like myself, my daughter has a rare genetic disorder, her brain didn't have a map of her feet. So her brain had no idea that her feet were even attached to her or that her feet were useful to her. She basically lay perfectly still because of her genetic disorder. Sometimes it's because of a brain injury like cerebral palsy, but because my daughter lay perfectly still for 6 months, her brain wasn't collecting all of that rich experience of moving her feet up against a wall, up against the floor, of wiggling her toes, of getting her toes into her mouth, of self-exploring how her own body moves and explores the world, what her own body is capable of. So because her brain missed out on all of that opportunity, her brain simply didn't know she had feet that were useful. So the good news is that I was able to use slow, gentle movements to access her brain's ability to remap that area, her toes and her feet, and how it's all connected to help her come into standing, to help her balance in standing and walking and moving forward. So that's just one of the benefits of slow brain-based movements, is to be able to remap or map for the first time sometimes and fill in the missing gaps of experience your child's brain just might simply be missing because of their diagnosis. You can check out the guided videos for the movements to do with individual body parts in the links down below. And I wanted to remind you that anytime you're working with your child and their brain, to remember that we're using movement to help fill in the gaps that might be missing for their brain. So we're shifting away from doing something to your child to connecting our kids to themselves. So you're connecting your child to themselves through your touch and through slow, gentle movements. You're going to get better results, faster results, when you keep that as your motivation to explore movement with your child, not to get them to do the movement, so not to get their feet to move in a certain way, but to access their brain by connecting them to their own movement. So by connecting them to their own feet, their own experience of what possibilities their feet might have. So connecting your child to their own movements and their own body parts is the key to true learning. If you want to learn more about slow, gentle movements, check out the links below. And if you found this helpful, make sure to click subscribe, share with a friend, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.